Hi everyone, welcome to a new interview. We are recording this time at the second day of EuroTier and probably the most busy day of the exhibition. This is the 10th edition of this exposition, which is probably, or not probably, for sure the biggest livestock and husbandry exhibition in the European continent. And I came to visit some friends at the booth of Zinpro. Hello Cibele and hello Marie.
Hi.
I say some friends because, to be honest, on the last month I think I at least see you 3 times.
Yes.
So yeah, we are among friends here. So, Cibele, we're gonna start with you. Cibele, you're a technical support of Zinpro.
Yes. Technical support for Europe, South Africa, international division. Yes.
Specialized in poultry.
Yes.
Is that right?
Broiler breeders, broilers, layers.
And I know you know a lot about zinc supplementation. Could you tell us what is zinc from Avela zinc and which are the difference with other sources of this mineral?
Okay, so Zinpro is a company that specializes in producing trace minerals in a unique form. So it's more than 50 years combining. Here is our molecule, so it's an amino acid.
You came very well prepared.
Yeah. Well, it's just because it's easier, so people can see, and then it's easier to explain the differences across all the inorganics and organic trace minerals available in the market. So in the case of Zinpro, the gray here represents zinc or any other trace mineral. So you can see that the zinc is part of the amino acid, okay? So these 5 member rings here provides all the characteristics such as solubility and protection of the trace mineral per se, so you can be completely absorbed and available for the animal. So it is important to understand that once the trace mineral is bound to this amino acid complex structure, the amino acid is absorbed a little bit differently. So it's recognized by the tail, which is this part here, so the side chain, by the amino acid transported at the intestinal lumen. So this is how it's one of the main differences for trace mineral absorption, because the zinc in this case is absorbed completely as an amino acid molecule. And the questions that nutritionists should do for their mineral suppliers is about absorption. How does this supposed to be organic form, is absorbed? There are several minerals available in the market that they claim organic, and actually the zinc is absorbed, or the other trace mineral is absorbed as a free ion, because a free ion is recognized by an absorption transporter that is positive charged and is absorbed as it is, okay? And that's the main differentiation. Our mineral is absorbed intact, whereas others are absorbed as inorganic trace minerals. Okay.
Cibele, you came to the exhibition not only to be here in the booth, but also to have a talk. You had a speech.
Yes.
And in that speech you mentioned the important effect of supplementing with zinc during the early stage of the life of the bird, and the consequences through all the life of the animal. Not only, supplementing the first week, it's going to be consequences and effect through the whole life of the animal. How does it work exactly?
Okay, so in my talk, I speak about macro minerals and micro minerals, trace elements, and we are talking about specifically on zinc.
Yeah.
So we need to understand that when a chick hatches from the egg, they basically absorb all the nutrients from the egg yolk that was deposited by the hen, okay, in the egg, except calcium. Okay, so calcium is there, available for them, but they need phosphorus, which is a macro mineral, and they also need trace minerals, in the case zinc. So what do we do usually as nutritionists? We over supplement calcium in the diet. And calcium, together with phytate, can be an anti-nutrient. So if you have too much calcium in your diet, The phytate, which is the form of that phosphorus is available from the raw materials, okay, is tightly bound to the phytate molecule. So calcium can bind into this phytate, making this a potential even stronger chelator. Phytate binds also free trace minerals, making them not available for the bird, okay? So why am I telling you this? Because now we have much more understanding on the negative relationship between calcium, calcium source, calcium level, or the characteristics of the calcium, and the efficacy of the phytase. Phytase is the enzyme that breaks down the phytate, okay? So we want to make that hydrolysis as quick as possible, because now we can make that trace mineral from the raw material available to the bird, okay? So that's one of the things. So why is it important in the first stage after hatch? Because in the first days after hatch, the bird is not able really to hydrolyze the phytate in a more efficient way, because the pH of the upper gut is not as low as possible. And when you over supplement calcium, you make the pH up. So everything goes wrong, okay? So when you supplement, when you control the calcium source, when you promote the efficiency of the phytase, and you supplement zinc in a more available form, which is a zinc from Avela Zinc, you can see benefits already on intestinal growth or even body weight at 10 days of age, and that will continue after hatch. Until the grow out phase, not after hatch.
You also make focus on the importance of trace mineral in a phytase optimized diet. Could you explain it, let's say, again, because you already talked during the talk, so...
Yeah.
So for the people who couldn't attend it.
Okay, so what do we mean by optimized phytate hydrolysis? It's in our knowledge available nowadays that, again, it's all about understanding the calcium source. When you understand calcium and you optimize that phytate hydrolysis, now you are making overall nutrients more available for the bird, including trace minerals coming from the raw materials, which before were being bound to the phytate. So what does that mean? It means that we can decrease the supplementation of inorganic form. Actually, if you don't supplement any inorganic into the diet of a basal diet, there's no problem. The bird meets the requirements for zinc in terms of growth. Our latest study has shown that when you supplement a basal diet in this condition that you're optimizing the phytase, completely phytase hydrolysis, when you supplement this basal diet with zinc from Avela Zinc, you meet, but you maximize growth. And what do we mean by that? You have indications that early growth in terms of body weight, bone mineralization is improved already at 10 days of age. You have improvements on nutrient digestibility, zinc digestibility, and these effects that you see at 10 days of age, you carry until 37 days of age. So if you feed the trace mineral throughout the whole life, the birds will have an improved performance. But it's not only that, because you are supplementing less trace minerals, if you compare to the current genetic recommendations, you have more zinc locked into the biological system, and you can improve the efficiency of other nutrients as well, such as phosphorus. So in addition of having, actually the phosphorus is not being excreted. It's going to be used towards supporting energy for breast meat formation, for example. So we say now that less phosphorus is going to the environment and more phosphorus is going to the abattoir. And you only get that if you supplement with a very good source of zinc, which is Zinpro, from Zinpro mineral.
And now we're going to talk with Marie-Laure. She's a nutritionist, a dairy nutritionist in Zinpro Corporation.
Direct tech support, yes, for Europe and South Africa too.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I've seen here in the booth there is there are like many signs or many, how to say, marketing of a product which is already in the market. ISOFerm, Zinpro ISOFerm. What is Zinpro ISOFerm, and which, if there is any recommendations to use it, or in which optimal situation would you recommend it?
Okay, so Zinpro ISOFerm, you see a lot of marketing material around it because we actually won silver medal here at EuroTier this year, and we're really proud of this because it's a great achievement for the team. So what is Zinpro ISOFerm? It's a blend of iso acids. So basically, iso acids are brain-chain volatile fatty acids. Those are naturally produced in the rumen by the cow, okay? And it's an essential nutrient for fiber digesting bacteria. So those bacteria, they need those iso acids for their survival, because it's part of their process for their membrane viability. And it's also, they need also these iso acids to produce microbial protein. And because so when you feed Zinpro ISOFerm to a cow, then you actually feed directly those fiber digesting bacteria, and you see, so somehow you improve the natural fermentation of the rumen, you improve the functionality of those bacteria, and this translates into improvement in production of microbial protein, so more metabolized protein for the cow available at the end, but also more fiber digestion, which translates into improvement in milk production and feed efficiency for those cows. But you're right asking the question about if there is some condition using it, because actually, and that's part of this whole achievement we get with ISOFerm, we succeeded at Zinpro to somehow assess or to precise the type of diets in which the cow needs more iso acids or not. And those actually are a diet with a higher content of carbohydrates or fermentable carbohydrates, and low protein diets or low true RDP diets. In this case, then those cows that will need more iso acids, or they have a deficit in the iso acids, and then you see a benefit in feeding Zinpro ISOFerm in terms of milk and feed efficiency indeed.
It's clear. One of the, or two of the most important effects that the product has is that it helps avoiding the loss of weight, and also it helps improving the function of the liver.
Yeah, so
how does it work?
That's a very interesting subject, because it's actually another mode of action that we somehow not discovered, but there was some more recent work published on the topic. And this is very new, and it's all related to the protein metabolism, of those cows. So basically what I described earlier is a purely rumen effect, right? It's for those bacteria in the rumen and for the fermentation process. But what we know already from earlier research is that when the rumen doesn't need those iso acids, then they go through and they're absorbed and used by the liver. And this is actually the case for the transition cow. If you look at the diet for those dry cows, most of the time you have high quality protein, and you don't really want high fermentable carbohydrate in those diets. So those are not a condition where those fiber digesting bacteria need iso acids, meaning that you have some iso acids that are going through the intestine, being absorbed and going through the liver. When the cow is in a state, it's still in far away from the calving, she most of the time she just doesn't need much energy, because also the diet brings already too much energy, and she just needs energy to maintain her body weight, right? So then those iso acids, what's happening in the liver is that they will get actually transformed, or they will be metabolized and then going into the muscle reserves somehow, and being stored as brain chain amino acid. Okay. When the cow arrives close to calving, then she will use those brain chain amino acids as a source of either brain chain amino acid for the milk, or for the liver as a direct source of glucose in the Krebs cycle, meaning that those cows when you feed her, when you feed cows during the transition period with Zinpro ISOFerm, you get actually higher glucose content, circulating content in those cows. And because those cows have a better energetic stages after calving, then they also need they don't need to use as much fat from their body, so less lipolysis, okay? So which means at the end also the liver,
you lose less weight.
You lose less weight because you need less fat, and you also have a better liver function because you actually don't need to process too much ketone bodies. So this cow really is in a better shape. She produces more milk without losing too much weight. And I think that's kind of the dream of every nutritionist, right?
I was going to say that. The product has like a list of benefits, not
exactly.
only a benefit. What do you receive, what kind of feedback do you receive from the user? I mean, from the farmers or the producers?
Yeah, so I think it's, what the first thing that they would notice is, for the one really looking, they could see in the lactating cow, they could see the change in the fiber digestion, okay, and then obviously they would see more milk in the tank without any change in the component in the fat and protein. It's just is a better improvement in the rumen function, so more milk, more component of milk. You're not changing any fermentation or orientating any fermentation in the rumen. That's the first thing they would see. But when they feed it also to the dry cow, what they would see is a better stage, is a more actually cows that are in better health with a lower transition disease, so lower PHBs too, lower ketosis, and then obviously higher pig milk. So that's really how they would see the benefit, and then obviously also for their return of investment or income of a feed crop, that's basically positive for them too. So that would be what they would see.
Thank you, Marie.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Best of the luck here in the exhibition. And
Thank you.
thank you for having us.
Thank you very much for receiving us.
As you could see, I had the privilege to talk with two of the stars of Zinpro booth, which is, by the way, very, very crowded nowadays. So thank you for watching us, and see you next time. Bye.